Life in America during the 1960s felt slower and steadier. Days followed predictable rhythms shaped by family and community. Homes were places of comfort, not displays of wealth. People valued presence more than possessions inside those walls. Mornings began quietly with sunlight through familiar windows. There was a sense of safety woven into daily routines. Life felt grounded, personal, and deeply human during those years. Homes in the 1960s carried warmth beyond furniture and decoration. Living rooms were gathering places, not silent showrooms. Couches held stories, conversations, and shared family moments. Televisions were small, but attention was fully focused. Everyone watched together, reacting in real time. There was no scrolling, skipping, or watching alone. The home felt alive with shared presence and connection. Kitchens were the heart of every American home. Meals were prepared slowly, often from handwritten recipes. The smell of cooking meant family would soon gather. Conversations happened naturally while food simmered nearby. Children learned patience waiting for dinner to finish. Nothing felt rushed, even on busy days. The kitchen was comfort, routine, and care combined. Furniture in the 1960s was built to last decades. Nothing was trendy, disposable, or quickly replaced. Each piece had a purpose and a story. Chairs remembered arguments, laughter, and quiet evenings. Tables held homework, meals, and folded newspapers. Homes evolved slowly alongside the families inside. There was pride in maintaining what you already owned. Technology existed, but it never dominated daily life. Phones stayed on walls, not inside pockets. Calls were meaningful because interruptions were rare. Letters arrived slowly, carrying anticipation and emotion. Communication required patience and thoughtful intention. Silence was common and never felt uncomfortable. Life allowed space for reflection and uninterrupted thought. Children in the 1960s spent most days outdoors. Neighborhoods felt safe enough for freedom and exploration. Parents trusted the world beyond their front doors. Bikes lined driveways as friendships formed naturally. Games were invented, not downloaded or purchased. Time passed unnoticed during long summer afternoons. Childhood felt expansive, imaginative, and deeply memorable. Evenings brought families back together under one roof. Dinner tables became places of storytelling and listening. Parents shared lessons through conversation, not lectures. Children felt seen, heard, and included. There was comfort in predictable nightly routines. Arguments happened, but resolution came quickly. Family bonds were reinforced through simple shared time. Homes reflected personality rather than social expectations. Decorations were chosen slowly, often over many years. Nothing needed matching sets or perfect color schemes. Walls displayed memories, not curated aesthetics. Photographs captured real moments, not staged images. Every home felt unique, familiar, and lived in. Comfort mattered more than outside opinions. Television programming shaped shared cultural moments. Families planned evenings around favorite weekly shows. Commercials became part of collective memory. There was excitement waiting for special broadcasts. No one worried about missing episodes forever. Television ended for the night, signaling bedtime. Life continued without constant digital stimulation. Neighborhoods functioned like extended families during those years. Doors stayed unlocked during daytime hours. Neighbors recognized each other by name and habit. Children moved freely between familiar houses. Community accountability replaced fear and suspicion. Trust existed naturally within daily interactions. The home extended beyond walls into the surrounding streets. Weekends offered rest instead of constant obligations. Sundays felt slower, quieter, and more reflective. Families attended church or stayed home together. Meals were longer and conversation deeper. Stores closed, encouraging time spent with loved ones. Life paused without guilt or productivity pressure. Rest was respected as necessary and earned. The sounds of the home were gentle and familiar. Radios played softly in the background. Clocks ticked steadily, marking time patiently. Doors creaked, floors groaned, houses breathed. Silence never felt empty or awkward. It allowed thoughts to wander freely. Homes felt alive through subtle, everyday sounds. Children learned values through observation, not instruction. They watched parents handle challenges calmly. Respect was modeled through daily behavior. Hard work was expected, not rewarded immediately. Mistakes became lessons, not labels. Discipline came with explanation and fairness. Homes shaped character quietly and consistently. Bedrooms were simple spaces meant for rest. Few distractions existed beyond books and radios. Nighttime brought reflection instead of stimulation. Children fell asleep imagining tomorrow's possibilities. Dreams felt vivid and unhurried. Sleep restored both body and mind. The home protected rest as something sacred. Holidays felt deeply rooted in family traditions. Decorations emerged from storage once each year. Every ornament carried memory and history. Preparation mattered more than presentation. Anticipation built slowly, day by day. Togetherness mattered more than perfection. Celebrations reflected shared meaning rather than performance. Parents carried authority without needing constant explanation. Rules were understood through consistency and trust. Children felt secure knowing boundaries existed. Freedom grew naturally with responsibility earned. Discipline balanced firmness with understanding. Homes provided structure without emotional distance. Guidance felt protective rather than controlling. Daily routines created stability within changing times. The world evolved, but homes remained anchors. News arrived once daily, not continuously. Worries existed, but weren't constantly amplified. Families processed information together calmly. Perspective softened fear and uncertainty. Homes provided emotional grounding during societal change. Meals were moments, not interruptions. Everyone sat down together whenever possible. Eating slowly encouraged conversation and gratitude. Food connected generations through shared recipes. Nothing felt rushed or disposable. Leftovers were appreciated, never wasted. Meals reflected care, intention, and respect. Homes were places where emotions felt safe. People expressed joy, sadness, and frustration openly. Conversations happened face to face. Misunderstandings resolved through patience and listening. Apologies carried genuine meaning. Forgiveness followed naturally without pride. Homes taught emotional resilience quietly. Time inside the home felt abundant. Even boredom became space for creativity. Children learned to entertain themselves naturally. Imagination filled gaps where technology did not. Adults slowed down after long workdays. Presence replaced constant stimulation. Life felt fuller despite having less. The home reflected life's imperfections honestly. Nothing was hidden for appearances. Mess existed alongside warmth and care. Homes looked lived in, not staged. Comfort mattered more than judgment. People felt accepted as they were. Homes offered emotional permission to be human. Generations lived closer emotionally, sometimes physically. Grandparents visited often or lived nearby. Stories passed naturally between age groups. Wisdom traveled through conversation, not screens. Children felt connected to their history. Family roots felt tangible and meaningful. Homes preserved continuity across generations. Evenings ended gently without constant noise. Lights dimmed, voices softened naturally. Families prepared together for sleep. Routines signaled safety and closure. The day felt complete, not fragmented. Rest came easily without overstimulation. The pace of life allowed appreciation of moments. Small joys carried lasting emotional weight. Laughter echoed longer inside familiar rooms. Sadness felt manageable within supportive spaces. Homes absorbed both happiness and hardship. Life unfolded steadily without constant comparison. Contentment came from presence, not achievement. Ownership felt personal rather than performative. Homes weren't designed to impress outsiders. They existed primarily for those inside. Privacy was respected and protected. Family life unfolded away from public judgment. Moments remained unrecorded but deeply remembered. Memories lived inside people, not devices. Children grew within the rhythm of home life. Learning extended beyond school walls. Chores taught responsibility without resentment. Participation created belonging and pride. Every role felt meaningful and necessary. Homes functioned as cooperative environments. Life lessons formed naturally through contribution. Change arrived gradually, allowing emotional adjustment. Nothing felt sudden or overwhelming. Families adapted together, discussing decisions openly. Progress felt intentional rather than forced. Homes buffered uncertainty with familiarity. Stability helped people navigate societal shifts. Looking back, simplicity carried unexpected richness. Less distraction created deeper emotional presence. Time felt slower but more meaningful. Homes nurtured connection through routine and care. People belonged somewhere without proving themselves. Life felt grounded in shared experience. The home anchored identity during formative years. Many still search for that feeling today. The warmth, calm, and togetherness linger. Modern life often moves too quickly. Distraction replaces presence far too often. Memories of those homes remain comforting. They represent safety, love, and belonging. The past whispers lessons worth remembering. So think back to your childhood home. What did it smell like each evening? Who sat at the table beside you? What sounds filled your living room? What moments still feel warm today? Those memories still live inside you. What was your home like back then?